What if I told you this bonsai is about to become two? And no, we are not just chopping it in half. We are using a fascinating method called air layering, and it's easier than it sounds. So, in this video, I walk you through every step of how to air layer a bonsai tree, from when to start, how to choose the right spot, to when it's ready to be cut and planted. So, what's air layering? Air layering is basically a way to grow roots on a branch or trunk while it's still attached to the tree. You make a small wound, rub it with moist moss or soil, cover it and give it time. And eventually, roots start growing right out of that spot. Once you see enough roots, you cut the branch off. And just like that, you've got a brand new bonsai tree. There are actually quite a few kinds of trees you can try this on. Deciduous trees like Zelkova, Japanese maple, and Chinese elm usually work well. Most conifers, on the other hand, don't respond well to air layering. But there are exceptions, like this Shimpak juniper that I air layered last year and cut off recently. Japanese white pine can work too, but it takes patience. I haven't tried yet, but I hear that the success rate isn't as high. For successful air layering, there are several conditions that should be met. Make sure 1. You get the timing well. The temperature should be between 60 to 77 Fahrenheit or 15 to 25 Celsius. 2. The tree is healthy and vigorous. Younger trees or branches yield better results than older ones. 3. The spot you are layering stays moist but not soaked. 4. There's air. New roots need oxygen. 5. The wounded spot gets no direct sunlight. Timing makes a big difference. The best time to start air layering is during the growing season, usually from April to June. That's when the tree is actively sending energy throughout their body, which helps with root development. As I said, the best temperatures are between 60 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit or around 15 to 25 Celsius. So make sure you get them right. Alright, before you actually start the air layering process, choosing the right spot is important. Let me give you an example from this bonsai. As I shared in the last video, I decided to make this forest bonsai into a double trunk style. But the problem is, both trunks are of the same height and it doesn't give that natural parent and child feeling. So, I decided to use air layering to reduce the size of the secondary trunk, not by cutting it. That way, I can create better balance in the original tree and get a small new bonsai from separated parts. So, when you air layer a bonsai tree, make sure the tree is healthy and vigorous. If the tree is weak, it probably won't root well. That's why it helps to feed the tree well the year before. Lots of fertilizer to build up its strength like I did for this tree. Now, when you're picking the exact place to air layer, think about this. Will this branch make a good bonsai on its own? Does it already have nice shape or movement? If it does, that's a great candidate. Also, avoid any damaged or rotten areas. You want to work with clean, healthy bark. Stay away from bumpy or knotty spots too. Roots don't grow well from uneven surfaces. In short, a smooth section of bark is ideal. And if you want your new tree to have nice surface roots, choose part of the trunk or branch that's round. That way, roots can spread out evenly and create a beautiful root base. Here's something important. If you want to keep the parent tree alive after separating the new one, make sure there's at least one healthy branch below the area. If there's nothing left below, the parent tree might struggle or even die. In terms of size, aim for a branch or trunk that's between 1 and 2.5 inches in diameter, that is 2 and 6 centimeters. Thicker than that, the rooting becomes much more difficult. In my case, the spot for air-layering is already pretty much decided, based on how tall I want the smaller trunk to be in the future composition. But I still need to check if the bark is smooth and round and there are some branches below the air layer. I think here's a good spot. Alright, here's how to do air layering. Here's what you need. A chisel or sharp knife, sphagnum moss or cocoa peats or vermiculite, akadama or bonsai soil mix, a black plastic pot or bag, string or stapler. This is optional but rooting hormone. Step 1. Choose the spot. Pick a branch or trunk that has good structure and look nice on its own. Step 2. Clean up. Remove any unnecessary branches or leaves around the spot. Step 3. Make the wound. Using a chisel or sharp knife, peel off the bark in a ring about 1.5 times the width of the branch or trunk. It should be deep enough to see the wooden part underneath. This is optional, but applying rooting hormone at the upper part of the cut speeds up rooting. Step 4. Rub with moss. Soak the sphagnum moss in water and squeeze out the excess. Then, tightly wrap it around the wound. Tie it with cotton string if it's coming off. Don't put too much moss because it may cause root rot after rooting. You may skip this step if you're sure you can keep the wounded spot moist at all times. Step 5. Cover up. Wrap the wounded area with a black plastic bag or pot. Seal the bottom with string or stapler, leaving a small drainage gap. Step 6. Put the soil. Put the soil in the bag or pot. It can be 100% akadama or 50% akadama with the rest sphagnum moss, cocoa peats or vermiculite. Seal the top loosely with string or stapler. Make sure to leave a gap so moisture can escape once roots have formed. Step 7. Water and monitor. Always keep the soil moist but not soggy, and do not let it completely dry. Place the tree in a warm spot with the light shining at the wounded spot to facilitate rooting. Roots usually begin forming in 1 to 2 months, though some species can take much longer. If you find this video helpful and want more bonsai tutorials like this, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. You'll find the link in the description below. Now the big moment. When do you cut it off? Here's my wisteria bonsai I layered a while ago. It wasn't last year, so it's quite overdue actually. Anyway, you may gently squeeze the spot. If it feels firm and root-filled, it's a good sign. I don't see in this case, but you might also see roots poking out from the bottom. But be careful not to separate it in the middle of summer or late fall. The tree may not root well in the soil after the cut. So, the safest time is either early fall around late September to early October, or wait until spring when the buds are swelling. Cut just below the air layer. Once it's cut, plant it in an unglazed pot in the same way as the normal repotting. Remove any sphagnum moss that is attached to the roots if possible. The roots are still weak, so do not force it off. After that, keep it in the shaded area away from the wind and rain for a week or two. Don't fertilize right away. Start fertilizing only a small amount in spring until the roots are fully developed. And don't do hard pruning for a year. You may cut off the tips that have grown too long, but that's about it. And that's how you aerate a bonsai tree. It's not just a great way to create a new tree, but also a clever way to make two bonsai out of one. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.